A very good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing good. Also, I hope the lectures are helping you. Very good morning, Aryan. Good morning, Durvesh. We wait for a couple of more minutes and then we begin. Okay, for students in the class, any problem in the previous topics that I have done? Anything you want me to revise before I start something new? Any of the topics? Okay, we begin with the class, though there are a limited number of students. Superb, Saurabh. Okay. Somebody just wants me to go through the adverb clauses. Okay, there are 8 to 9 types of adverb clauses. Adverb clause of time, adverb clause of place, adverb clause of manner, adverb clause of reason, adverb clause of result, adverb clause of purpose, adverb clause of condition, adverb clause of contrast, adverb clause of comparison. Now, contrast has number of meanings. Adverb clause of contrast is also called as adverb clause of concession, adverb clause of supposition. I had given you the entire list of subordinators which would fit to where. For example, if I'm using when, whenever, as soon as, no sooner, than, of course, these words would always be a part of adverb clause of time. If I'm talking about where, wherever, it is adverb clause of place. Similarly, if I'm using as, because, these words, again, as is one word you have to see, look at the sentence and then understand which adverb clause would it be a part of. So you look at the sentence, you look at the subordinator and you make a decision which adverb clause it is. Okay. Okay, noun clause as well. I just revised. You ask the main clause a question which should begin with what, and if you get an answer, a valid answer from your subordinate clause, then it is your noun clause. Adjective clause, usually we focus on words like who, whose, whom, which. These words are part of your adjective clause. It helps you to recognize adjective clause. Okay. Now, today's class is definitely heavy and would require, again, your utmost attention. I'll be briefing you about transformation of sentences, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 meaning all the types of sentences: assertive, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative, and then kinds of sentences: simple, compound, complex. Though we have done this, the transformation of sentences covers all of it. So I would be doing it in brief with you all. With that, very important, since we are talking about transformation of sentences, you need to be very careful. We have almost 10 to 12 parts in that particular topic. So I'll be covering all of them possibly in detail. Let's begin. Okay. Now, I have already taught you that there are 4 major types of sentences: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. Today, let's see how are we going to make sure that we can transform these sentences without changing the meaning of the sentence from one form to another. So let's see. We first begin with, I'll just give the heading and then we begin. Transformation of sentences. And the very first one that I'm doing is assertive. Now, assertive sentences are also called as declarative sentences, as we had learned in the earlier class. And assertive sentences are broadly divided into two, as I told you last class as well. We talk about affirmative sentences here, and we talk about negative sentences here. So this is my affirmative sentences, plain sentences which do not have any negative words, affirmative sentences. Negative sentences, again plain sentences but have negative words. A brief revision once again, negative words are those words which are no, not, never, none, no one. Conjunctions like neither nor, not only but also. Okay, and we have certain words like which are deemed to be negative: hardly, barely, scarcely. These words are deemed to be negative. Now, how would I go about transforming my affirmative sentences to negative or my negative sentences to affirmative? So I have certain, rules you can go about. Number one, the very first thing you can use is prefix. Now, what are prefixes? Words used before a noun. Yes, the meaning of the sentence should not change, Dhruv. Correct. So prefixes are certain words which I can use before a word. Words like un, dis, in, these words are prefixes. Let's see, let's take one example for your better understanding. My first example is, she is not regular to class. Okay. Now here, when I use the word not regular simply tells me that my sentence is negative. Okay. Now that my sentence is negative, how will I change this to affirmative without changing the meaning of the sentence? So not regular simply means irregular. And what did I do? I'm just simply using a prefix. She is irregular to class. So without changing the meaning, I made sure that the not goes away and my sentence becomes affirmative without changing the meaning. So here, not regular is equal to irregular. We are doing from the scratch. So students who are not understanding can definitely post your doubts. Not regular is irregular. I'll give you one more for your understanding, better understanding. His behavior is not predictable. How would I change this? I have the word not. So what would I do? Very good, Joey. Not predictable would simply become unpredictable. Very good, Vedant. Very good, Dhruv. So here, my answer would be his behavior is unpredictable. And once again, not predictable becomes unpredictable. I hope this is definitely understood by everybody. This was easy. Prefix was easy. Let's see what else can I do. What now? Always, you cannot have prefixes everywhere. So I need to have something. What else can I have? So here, using sheer opposites or sheer antonyms can also work. Let's see how we can have sheer antonyms. I'll give you one example, few examples rather. First example, let's say, she is always late to the class. Now, here, what can I use? This is affirmative sentence. How can I make it negative? She is never early to the class. Okay, fine. So here I would write always. I'm going to change, and I'm also going to change the word late. So my first answer could be she is never early to the class. Okay, correct. And what did I do? Always, opposite is never. Late, opposite is early. I hope everybody is understanding. Here we have very good. Always, never. If the color is not visible, let me know. Late, never. All right, late, early. I'm sorry. Okay. Friends, she is not regular to the class would simply mean she is irregular. She bunks class at times. You know, she is never on time. Again, Dhruv, I would give it a mark. She is never on time. Yes. Look at the MCQ questions carefully. If you have such an option, she is never on time to the class. Sounds perfectly right. This is also a correct answer. Late does not always mean you have to be early. You can be exactly joining the class at 9:30 as well, and you would be on time that way. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Another question where you can use simple opposites. For example, I say, not many people can lay down their life for motherland. Tell me, how would I go about with this? When I say not many people, every few people sounds incorrect, Arya. Very few people. Okay, you wanted to write very few. Okay, yes, very few people or only a few people also sounds well. So, very few people, very few people, or only a few people. Just hold on. Yeah, few people can lay down their life. Make sure that you are not changing the modal. When we will be discussing the questions from Navneet, you will realize that the options are so very close. But despite the close options, one thing prominent is that they would have structural errors. So watch out for it. Only few people can lay down their life for motherland. Okay. Let's once for motherland. Let's take another example. Only a handful of people. Okay, sounds fine. If you have this as the option, it would be a fine one. Allowed. Okay. Another one, sheer opposite. I admit you have done me a favor. How would I go about with this? Affirmative. I admit you have done me a favor. I do not deny. Very good. I do. I do not deny. Don't use the word don't. Okay, friends, there is nothing called as unfavor. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Not always can I have a prefix. I need to think of opposites as well sometimes. So I do not deny. You have done me a favor. Clear? Making sense? One more. Okay. Favor meaning is I asked you for a help and you made sure that you give me that help. One favor. Okay. Next one. Everyone is present in the class. This is what I'm hoping. What would I have? No one is absent in the class. Very good, Neha. That's the correct answer. So everyone, sheer opposite, first opposite, no one. And I would not use nobody. I would make sure everyone, the opposite word is no one. So no one is absent in the class. Sure, everybody, students? Last, not absent. Okay, everyone is not absent in the class sounds so incorrect, Prince. It is incorrect, beta. Everyone is not absent in the class. Okay, proceeding further, only the last one. The roads in, there are no absentees in the class. Okay, Jitesh, sounds fine. Look at the options. Look at the options in your MCQs, and if this one fits the correct, you can write it. But generally, everyone, no one. We would not change. Absentee would simply now become the noun form. There is no absentee in the class. Why to do that? The roads in Uttar Pradesh are wide. Come on, try this. Try this. Very good, Dhruv. The roads in Uttar Pradesh are not narrow. Super. The roads in Uttar Pradesh are not narrow. Super. Very good. So I hope again this sheer opposite, using sheer opposites are fine. Very good, Gaurang. The roads in Uttar Pradesh are not narrow. Okay. Now third one. Now this is correct, Ojas. Don't use UP. Don't use that. Okay. Third one. Let's talk about another beautiful conjunction. Now this is as soon as. If you have this, generally we use no sooner in replacement. We are using no sooner ... than in the replacement. But this would sound vague if I tell you that despite saying no sooner and then have certain space in between, there are students who love to use it next to each other. So this is for them. Always remember there is a way to use no sooner. You cannot be using it the way you want. The rule is whenever you begin with no sooner, you need to have an auxiliary next to it. For all those who don't know what an auxiliary is are, am, was, were, has, have, had, did, do, does. All of this is your auxiliary. Depending on the sentence, I would be using that. Now, once that is done, I would use my subject. Okay. Whatever is the sentence required, I would put it down. And in between, I would attach than. Again, complete my set of sentence. Let's take one example for your better understanding. I'll take one example. Say, as soon as the teacher left the class. Now here I would have comma. As soon as, comma, the students created a ruckus. Now here, if I'm using no sooner, always remember, very good, Dhruv. Instead of as soon as, I'll be replacing it with no sooner. I checked the word left. Okay, I checked the word left. This is my past tense. And so past auxiliary would be used, and I'm using no sooner did the teacher. Now you forget the word did, the answer would be incorrect. When I saw number of questions in the Navneet book, you know, the catch was no sooner did the teacher, and here they have used the word left. With did, you need to have present tense. No sooner did the teacher leave the class. So again, you know that the answer is incorrect if the statement is no sooner did the teacher left the class than the students created a ruckus. I hope everybody understood this part and there is no problem. Let's take one more example. Okay, Prince is asking me, Miss, why are we using did? We are using did simply because no sooner the teacher left the class, this structure is incorrect. With no sooner, I need to have an auxiliary next to it. And so we are using it. Prince, your doubt is cleared? Okay, proceeding further. Let's take up second one. Second example could be, now see if I'm using as soon as somewhere in between. Okay, I will take that into consideration, Prince. Hold on for a minute. The dog jumped on the bone as soon as it saw okay, try this. Okay, Avishkar, I come to that part as well. You cannot use the word had unless my question has the word had. Okay? Come on, try this, students. Good. Yes, perfect. No sooner did the dog, again, I would not use the word jumped, I would use jump. This answer is wrong. If you are using jump in the beginning, the very first action is the dog is seeing the bone, right? So no sooner did the dog see the bone. This answer was wrong. Yeah. No sooner did the dog see the bone than he jumped on it. I hope this is understood why the answer is wrong. 1 second, let me just see who this person is. Perfect. Correct, correct, correct. The subject is he. Subject is a dog. Prince, subject is the dog. We're talking about the dog, right? Yeah. Okay. Third one more. Okay. The students stop their work as soon as the teacher leaves. Now, general statement, times when you were going to school? Yeah. So you used to stop your work as soon as the teacher leaves. A general statement. And if I look at it carefully, here my sentence is in present tense. Leaves. Very, very, very important. This is Urja. No, this is. Okay. The answer, if you are using did, it is incorrect. I hope you are getting my point. Here, correct. My answer should be no sooner. Second half of the sentence, I'll be focusing upon. No sooner does the teacher leave. I'm already using the word does. I cannot use leaves. So no sooner does the teacher leave than the students stop their work. Clear? Easy for you to understand? One more. Hold on. Okay. Can't we use the word left? We cannot use the word left. Left is used for the past tense. Left. She left the work or she left the class. Okay, we cannot use the word leaved. There is nothing called as leaved. There is nothing called as leaved. When, do, does. Oh, okay. When are we supposed to use do and when are we supposed to use does? This is one question for singular. See, whenever you have singular subject, okay, singular present tense subject. Singular subject in present tense. We are using does. Singular plural subject in present tense, we use do. I hope this is clear for everybody. Do not make mistakes here. Which word do you want me to underline, Prince? Jitesh, coming to that question. Which word do you want me to underline? Okay, now when can we use the word had? As soon as the girls had reached the school, comma, they informed their parents. Here, I have the word had already in my question. Here, rather than using did with no sooner, I would be using had. No sooner had the girls reached the school. Correct, very good, Dhruv. Than they informed their parents. Correct? I have the word had. Check all the other sentences, 2, 3. You do not have those words. And so you are using another auxiliary. You are bringing in the auxiliary. Understanding? Fourth one, you already have an auxiliary. I'll give you one more. See, remember when your results were announced? So as soon as the results were announced, comma, the students rejoiced and you all were so happy because you were unaware of the CET. So you were happy. As soon as the results were announced, the students rejoiced. Now here again, I have an auxiliary with me. I have were. So I would not introduce anything else. Not required. I would simply write, very good, Dhruv. No sooner were the results announced, Announced. Yes. Then the students rejoiced. I hope this is clear. Very good, Suhani. Super. I think there should be no doubts here. Just hold on. I'll just read your comments. Please explain the third sentence. Okay. Prince, what doubt? I still couldn't get your doubt. Okay, you want to know what are singular words? Okay. Nouns which are singular. जब हम किसी एक चीज की बात कर रहे हैं, एक लड़का, एक लड़की, एक टीचर, एक स्टूडेंट, एक बेंच, ये सारे वर्ड्स आर सिंगुलर. जब मैं इनकी संख्या बढ़ा देती हूँ, if I put in more number, girls, boys, benches, these are plural. We, us, they, these are plural. He, she, it is singular. I hope now I'm clear. One sentence on do. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, third sentence. Okay. I'll majority have problems with the third one. The students stop their work as soon as the teacher leaves. Now here, the focus is on the teacher leaving the classroom, and leaves is in which tense, student? It is in present tense. I'm talking about one teacher. No sooner does the teacher, I'm not saying teachers. So, no sooner does the teacher leave than the students stop their work. To compensate the word leaves, okay, I have used does here. Now, any doubts? Similarly, for the fifth one, as soon as the results were announced, I already have the verb with me. I already have the auxiliary with me, were. So rather than introducing something else, I'm using the same auxiliary. No sooner were the results announced. Made sense? Now, we had Ojas. I hope the doubts are cleared. Shubhra, Shriya. Clear? Super. Okay. And somebody also wants with do. So this example for them. As soon as the members declare their decision, action will be taken. So here my answer should be, here I'm talking about members, plural. So I would write no sooner do. The members declare their decision, than action will be taken. Tanishka, I hope this doubt is also clear. I've tried to cover all. Super. Let's take the next part now, the fourth one. What else can I use to make my sentence affirmative to negative or negative to affirmative? So here I have another set of things. Not only, but also. Another conjunction. And here as well, students make moves. So when I talk about not only, but also, the structure goes this way. Not only, You would again have an auxiliary next to it. Then you would have a subject. Use whatever conjunction, whatever adjective or whatsoever is used. Attach, but also, and complete the sentence. We'll not talk in air. We'll take some examples. Let's see. He visited Delhi and Agra. This is affirmative. Now, kindly focus. Before you give me the answer, focus on the word, focus on the verb visited. And I only have one verb. Since I only have one verb, my first answer could be he not only visited Delhi, but also Agra. Okay. And if I want to begin with not only, I would say not only did. My verb is in past tense. So not only did he visit Delhi, but also Agra. Clear? One more sentence. Now here I'm giving you two different verbs. This hospital is both maintained and run by the government. Now, if you look at the sentence carefully, I have two verbs here. The very first verb is maintained and the second verb is run. When talking about two verbs, my answer would also be, in accordance to the verb. Let's see how would I put down this hospital is not only maintained, very good Dhruv, not only maintained, but also run by the government. Amazing. And if I am planning to put down my not only in the beginning, my answer would be not only is. I already have the word is for everybody. I'm repeating once again. We already have the word is. I do have the word is, and so I'm using it. Julie, 1 second. He not only visited Delhi, but also visited Agra. No, Julie, you would not repeat the verb. Visited is the only verb, so I would only have a verb in the beginning of the sentence. He not only visited Delhi, but also Agra. Clear, Julie? Here, super. Not only is the hospital maintained, but also run by the government. I hope there are no doubts with not only but also, and I hope you do not require any. Friends, this is going to be a part. If it was not going to be a part, why would I do it with you? Tell me. Okay, let's take another one, fifth one. Different ways. Another way you can have transformation of sentences is by removing two. TOO2. Oh God, I'm sorry. TOO2. And you know, if I'm removing TOO2, by default, I need to add something. I just cannot remove anything. Ansh, you are not just adding so that, and it is not together. It is always with certain space. So dot dot that. Correct? Let's take an example. But before that, usually your TOO2 will be with an infinitive 2 plus verb. Remember the very first class? Yeah. So let's take this. The tree is too high to climb. Suppose this is my sentence. How would I go about with this one? So for all those who do not know, I'm doing it for you all. We will first replace this TOO with so. So let us write that much. The tree is so high. I got the first half of my answer. Now I went on to the second half of the answer of the question, to climb. This to climb is affirmative. Okay, so whatever I would be attaching would be negative. Now first let's remove this TOO. How would I, this single 2, how would I remove it? The tree is so high that, now I'm talking about the tree. My entire focus is on tree. And it is the pronoun I can use for the tree. The tree is so high that it cannot be climbed. Such a sentences are general sentence. A general sentence, possibly the tree is so high, nobody would be able to climb it. You get it? So the tree is too high to climb, meaning it is for everybody. Perfect. Yes. Yes. Okay, Arya, the tree is so high that it could not be climbed. Changes the tense. Is, you associate cannot. Was, you have could not. Clear? Make sure you are not making those silly goofs. Let's take one more example. Now, again, I'm taking the same thing, but see how I'm twisting the question. The tree is too high for me to climb. I'm being very specific. Possibly for others, it would be easy to climb, but I would not be able to climb it because it is too high. So this is not a general statement. This is a specific sentence. And here, my focus entirely shifts from the tree to me. This particular thing, it shifts from the tree to me. So my sentence now would be, the tree is so high that I cannot climb it. For all the students in the classroom, if you are expecting me to give you notes on this, please, I would not be able to do so because the parts are huge. We have to cover almost 15 topics in today's class. Huge, huge, huge. So do not expect any notes. Please pay attention to whatever I'm teaching in the classroom. The whiteboard presentations would be given to you in the groups. All right. Let's take one more example where I'm using the past tense. She was too young to travel alone. If I have such a sentence, my answer should be, she was so young that she could not. Here I would have definitely could not. You would not use couldn't. No shortations allowed. Could not travel alone. Clear? Very good. Now these sentences were easy for you all to go about. Let's take one sentence where you can make silly errors if you are not vigilant enough to read the sentence. For example, Simran is too gullible not to be pricked. Gullible meaning is someone who can easily come in talks of other students or other people. That is gullible. Very good, Jui. Okay. Pratiksha, kindly ask your doubts in the chat. Here my, okay, Arya, yes, Dhruv, that's what I said, beta. I would first make sure that I know my basics correct. I'm going to replace this TOO2 with SO2. I'm going to remove this TOO2 and I'm going to place that. But before I proceed, before this 2, I have the word not, which I generally in my TOO2 sentences, I do not have. This part of my sentence is negative. This is negative already. So I cannot have a negative part with that. How would I go about now? Simran is so gullible that she will. Now here I'm not using the word can because I'm sure she is that kind of a person that she will be tricked. She can be tricked is incorrect. She will be tricked. I'm sure of that. So she will be tricked. She is so gullible. Someone is so gullible that she will be tricked. Dhruv, kindly check your answer, beta. You made a mistake, silly error. Also, I have, okay, for all those students who used can, I hope your doubt is cleared. Shubhra, we cannot use cannot. I hope again your doubt is clear. We have infinitive part as negative. So I cannot have that part as negative. This is incorrect English. Too not to be tricked. Simran is too gullible not to be tricked. Too not to be tricked sounds vague. Clear? Well, this was 5th. Okay. Next, let's proceed. Okay, 6th one. Sixth, I can say using of if and using unless. Now here as well, students make a lot of goof. But before we proceed, let me just tell you, unless, the meaning of the word unless simply is if ... not. If you do not listen to me, unless you listen to me, unless the meaning itself is if ... not. Mane, unless itself is negative as its connotation. All right. Now, if I use, to give you an example, if he does not play well, he will be dropped from the team. Correct? If I want to go about with this particular answer, I first check the word if. Now I'm hunting for the word not in the first half of the sentence where I have used if. I have not as well. Okay. If I have these two, the combination of if ... not, I would just have to use unless and keep the entire sentence as it is. Unless he plays well, comma, he will be dropped from the team. And the meaning is, I'm not changing the meaning. Once again, I haven't changed the meaning. Unless he plays well, meaning if he does not play well. Very good. If this is clear, let's take one more example. Yes, I am giving one more example. Okay. If you improve your vocabulary, improve your scores, you will get admission in the top university. If you improve your scores. Now here, I looked at the sentence and I realized I just have the word if. I do not have the word not. I do not have the word not. So when I do not have the word not, I will make sure the second half of the sentence has the word not. Never ever use not with unless in the first half. Wherever you are using unless, you cannot be using not with it. So you cannot be using, I'm just writing a hint for you all. Unless, okay, plus not. This is incorrect. ये गलत है. This is wrong. This is wrong. Understood? My answer thereby should be unless you improve your grades, comma, you will not get admission. Oops, sorry, your scores. I'm sorry. Your scores, comma, you will not get admission in the top university. I hope I made sense for everyone. I hope you understood this part really well. Do not make mistakes here. Specifically when you are making it negative, do not make mistakes. Okay, why have I not taken not? Friends, I just explained unless plus not, ये गलत combination है बेटा, इसीलिए नहीं लिया, इसीलिए उसको second half में ले लिया. No, I cannot use the word won't, Tanishka. Isn't, won't, doesn't, don't use only for your question tags and nowhere else. Nowhere else. That is incorrect English. Your grammar has to be perfect. Okay, so let's proceed further. Time is running. Now, another very important one. When you have the word only, okay, only he can do this, only she can attend the party, such questions. Now, when you have such a thing, this would of course be affirmative, no doubt to it. This would be an affirmative sentence. But if I have to make something negative, how would I do it? So I can use none but or nothing but. I'm using none but if I'm talking about a person. And I would use nothing but if I'm talking about something material. Okay. I'll give you two to three examples here as well for you to understand. Okay. Only people. Okay. Only students registered for the exam can attend the free lectures. This is my question. How would I go about with this? So I would say none but students registered for the exam can attend the free lectures. Understood? None but. Very good. I twist my sentence a bit. Let's see. Mm, okay. He drinks only tea in the morning. Now here, my focus definitely is not on the person. I'm not at all focusing upon he. I'm focusing upon what is he consuming. He is consuming tea in the morning and he is simply plainly consuming tea in the morning. So my answer would be he drinks nothing but tea in the morning. Very good, Julie. Very good, Vedika. In the morning. Similarly, again, one question just for you to understand English well. Only he drinks tea in the morning. Now here the meaning of my this sentence would simply mean in the family, other people love to drink something else in the morning, maybe coffee or something, Bonvita, Horlicks, anything. It is only he who drinks tea. So my answer should be none but he drinks tea in the morning. I hope again this particular part is clear for everyone. Sure. Shall I proceed further? Very good, very good, very good. Okay, next one. Now, this is important. Here we are talking degrees of comparison. And hold yourself, take a deep breath. Too much already done. Yes, yes, Prince. Depends on the question, Prince. Okay, degrees of comparison. Now there are certain questions where you cannot use prefix, you cannot use direct opposites, but you have to make sure that the meaning of the sentence does not change. Now, if the meaning of the sentence does not change, how would I go about with it? So I would use the rules of degrees of comparison, specifically the rules where we are using no other. Okay, that particular family. We have two particular families. We have no other and very few, but we would only be focusing right now on no other because we are making the sentence negative. So let's see how we are going about with it. So only for brief understanding, I'm writing this. This topic in detail would be done by either me or Jyoti ma'am in the upcoming classes. Superlative. If I'm having no other, now my positive can only begin with no other. Okay, and it needs to end. It needs to end with the subject. Very important. Okay, comparative degree begins with a subject. Okay, and since I have no other, it will have any other in between. This is clear. Let's take now few examples. When you have wide comparison, then I would be using no other formula. Mumbai is the most populated of all metropolitan cities. And we agree as well. Most polluted is Delhi and most populated is Mumbai. Now, if I have to make changes, you would say this, we can write Mumbai is not densely populated and we can have the answer. But then not densely populated would sound so incorrect, you know, and it is not even serving my purpose, not densely populated. Would it serve my purpose any which ways? It would not serve my purpose. So this would be incorrect. How would I then go about with it? I saw the word most populated. And I recollected, we have learned degrees of comparison. So I used degrees of comparison and I gave the answer. I wrote the answer. No other city. City, no other city. Okay. No other metropolitan city is as populated as Mumbai. No other metropolitan city is as populated as Mumbai. And with the word no other, I have already made this sentence negative without changing the meaning of the sentence. I hope it is clear. Super, very good. Okay, Dhruv, when you say Mumbai is more populated than any other metropolitan city, I am fine with it. But we are still focusing on affirmative and negative beta. We are still on that particular part. So if I want to make it negative, I have only one option, use no other. If you are asked to make the sentence comparative, then your answer is absolutely correct. Dhruv, I hope I made myself understood. Super. Another sentence I would give you is, I'm not giving you many examples, students, but yes, one more I can. Shimla is cooler than Ooty. Now you would tell me, Miss, we can write Ooty is not hotter than Shimla. No. Now that would change the meaning of it. So again, I saw cooler, I saw the word than, and I recollected. I can use my degrees of comparison. So I am using Ooty is not as cool as Shimla. And I am making this negative. Correct. Perfect. I hope again this is understood for everyone. Great. Great. Okay. Let me just see if I am missing out something. No, I'm not. So this way, at least my first particular part with regards to transformation of sentences, assertive comes to an end. We saw number of ways. So how many ways did we see? Let me just take you back. We started with, I'm sorry. We started with prefix, we started with opposites, then we talked about as soon as, then we talked about not only but also, we talked about remove to, then we talked about if dot dot unless, then we talked about only, and the last thing we talked about was degrees of comparison. Now let's proceed further. Now let's take interrogative sentences. Finally, coming to interrogative sentences. I hope assertive sentences, everybody, the base is clear now. You have no doubts at all. Okay, very good, very good. Okay. Interrogative sentences, again, when I talk about interrogative sentences, I have two parts. One, where I'll be using WH questions, okay, and other where I'll be using auxiliaries to frame my question. Now, always understand that there would be certain interrogative questions which are asked not for the sake of answer in return, not for the sake of answer. This is called as rhetorical questions, okay? Now, such questions, my answer is underlined. I mean, it has an underlying effect. For example, when I say, what if you do not attend the class? What if I do not pass? What if I don't do this? Now, such questions, I do not want an answer in return. Okay, I know what you are trying to say. You're trying to say that it will not matter much, even if you're not doing it, even if you're not submitting the assignments on time, you know you are going to score very good marks. So these are your WH questions, rhetorical questions where an answer is not required. On the other hand, when I'm using auxiliaries, I would always remember the rules of question tags and frame an interrogative question. I'll give you certain examples as usual. First one, when I say, since I began with what if we are late? This is my question. How would I turn this into an assertive sentence? I would turn this into an assertive sentence by saying it does not matter if we are late. And the key rule here is if my question is affirmative, my answer has to be negative. And this is what I'm writing here on the left side, right side. If my question is affirmative, my answer has to be negative. Another one I can give you. Suppose if I have who knows all the formulas. And since my question is positive, I would say no one knows all the formulas. And this is my affirmative. Clear? And I've made this sentence assertive. Similarly, I am giving that. This is assertive. One more. Okay. Who does not know the Prime Minister of India? Tell me, who does not know? Everyone knows. So my answer, everyone knows the Prime Minister of India. Perfect, perfect. Let's take one more. Now, if I frame my WH question, say with when. When can their glory fade? Suppose this is my question. Now, when I say when, I need to give a time, right? But such questions are not time bound. I would say my question is affirmative, so my answer has to be negative. So I will say their glory can never fade. Okay, that would be my answer. The glory can never fade. And this is assertive. Understood? One more. Now, suppose if I have, cannot fade, yeah, the glory cannot fade. But understand, the one who has given this question, when you say cannot fade, this is incorrect because my question is when. When? Am I asking you, can their glory fade? If that is my question, their glory cannot fade is the correct answer. I am asking you, give me a time, give me time bound. When can their glory fade? And you are saying their glory can never fade. Understood? Very good. Very good. Yeah. So next one, if at all, I have my question, which says, why waste time in this task? When you say why waste time, Prince बेटा, मेरे क्वेश्चन में अगर कैन है तो मैं सडनली आंसर में कुड कहाँ से लेकर आ जाती हूँ? जरा मुझे बताइए. प्लीज मेक श्योर कि आप टेंस सही देख रहे हैं. आप अपने हिसाब से टेंस नहीं लेकर आ सकते हैं आंसर में. हाँ बेटा, या. So why waste time in this task? My answer should be, it is useless here. You know, in a very dignified way, I'm telling you why waste time in this task. Underlying meaning is it is useless to waste time. There is no need, or it is useless. Useless here simply and on the point, to the point I'm saying you. It is useless to waste time in this task. Again, I hope this is clear for all of the WH interrogative sentences. Let us also talk about some. Let's talk about some of the questions which are not WH. For example, I say, it is raining outside. Yeah, allowed, Tanishka. It is raining outside. Now, use the rules of question tag. It is raining outside. Your question tag would have been, isn't it? So similarly, I would begin my answer with it. Now, often in your Navneet paper as well, they have asked you, make the sentence interrogative. And two options are given. Isn't it raining outside? It is raining outside, comma, isn't it? And a lot many students would go for the second option. Do not go for the second option. That is question tag. My answer should be, isn't it raining outside? Okay, next one. He does not remember the pleasures of life. How would I begin my answer? I already have the word not. If I see here, I already have the word not. So my answer should be, does he remember the pleasures of life? Very good. Question mark. Let's take one more. They can submit their assignments after due date. Such a relief, right, students? If your teachers say so. My answer should be, can't they? Since I have can as my auxiliary. Very good. Can't they submit their assignments after due date? Now one more, and I would stop this particular thing. The bus leaves the stop at 9 a.m. Come on. How would I go about? I have no auxiliary here. There is no auxiliary here. So how would I go about? You have learned question tags earlier. Use question tag and try to frame a sentence. Neha, if I have will, I will use would. मेरे पास will नहीं है. I do not have will. I have no auxiliary at all. मेरे पास सिर्फ ये प्रेजेंट टेंस है, लीव्स। ऊपर से मैं सिंगुलर चीज का बात कर रही हूँ, दिस इज सिंगुलर एंड आई टॉट यू सिंगुलर चीजों के लिए वी ओनली हैव वन थिंग, singular present tense we have does. The sentence is already positive, and so my answer has to be, doesn't the bus leave the stop at 9 a.m.? Question mark. Understood, everybody? I'm not taking more examples on this, definitely, because you have done question tags in detail. So I'm not going to, okay. Now, exclamatory sentences. Let us talk about exclamatory sentences. This is the third very part. Now, exclamatory sentences are all full of feelings, all full of emotions. And so when you change from exclamatory to assertive, you have to be very sure that the feelings, the emotions remain intact. So to make sure that they remain intact for your assertive sentences, when you form assertive sentences, you can have words like very, you can have words like indeed, you can have words like greatly, extremely. You can have words like so. You can have words like such. You can use any of these combinations. Okay. But as far as assertive sentence is concerned, again, exclamatory sentences again are of two types, where you are simply putting an exclamatory sentence or you are using interjections. So I'll just try to write this here or write this here, okay? And let's also talk about this particular thing. Exclamatory sentences are again of two divisions, where you have normal exclamatory sentences, which begins with what dot dot dot, and you have an exclamatory sentence, or how, and you have an exclamatory sentence, or you can also have interjections. Now, what are interjections? For all those students who don't know what are interjections, for them, words like alas, hurrah, bravo, these words are interjections and they connote something. They denote something. So we talk both of them. Let's see how would I go about. If I'm saying it is a pleasant day, my answer, typical answer, if I'm changing it from assertive to exclamatory, should be what a pleasant day it is. Correct? Agreed? What a pleasant day it is. Or you can also see what a pleasant day. Pratik, my sentence is already assertive, beta. This sentence is already assertive. And when you say it is indeed a pleasant day, आपने फिर से उसे assertive कर दिया. Understood? So this is my exclamatory now. Assertive, exclamatory. Let's talk about another one. Old age is painful. You know, second childishness. Remember, all my SSC students, old age is painful. Sans eyes, sans teeth, sans memory, everything lost. So old age is painful. My answer should be how painful old age is. Very good. For all those who are simultaneously answering, I'm quite happy. Correct? Okay. But this was still fine, easy to crack. But what if I have a different way, a different approach, assertive approach? I say, I wish I had wings. Okay. My ardent wish. This is assertive. For sure, this is assertive. How would I change this to exclamatory? So I cannot say, how I wish I had wings. This is incorrect. No. If only I had wings. Or I would say, oh, that I had wings. Even this is fine. Clear? Okay, one more sentence with regards to normal exclamatory. If I say, he to have killed his wife, Othello killed his own wife out of jealousy. So he to have killed his wife. Now this is such an emotion, such drastic emotion. So here I would, maintaining the same emotion, I would say it is such a shock that he killed his wife. Clear? Everybody? I hope it is smoothly rolling. Okay, super. One more. Now let's only talk about interjections. Let's see. I use interjections now. First one. Arya, this is the last topic. Don't worry. Very last topic. Okay. Interjections, for example, I say, hurrah, India won the match. Definitely under the leadership of Virat Kohli, captainship of Virat Kohli, goes without saying. But with this particular emotion, hurrah, India won the match. How would I change this to assertive? I would say it is such a delight that India, you cannot say India has won the match. No, I want that feeling. Come on, imagine India won the match against Pakistan. You are on, cloud nine. So it is such a delight that India won the match. Such a delight. Okay, let's take another interjection. Let's say, alas, he is ruined. I would say, now, alas, it denotes and connotes sad emotion. So I would write, it is such a sorrow that he is ruined. Such a sorrow. Clear? Very good. Yes, you can use, it is so sad that he is ruined. Allowed, I would fine if the MCQ has that particular question. One sec. Okay. Yes. So I hope you understood interjections as well. I'm not taking many examples here. So this was it from my end. But before we log out, before we sign off, I have certain questions already taken for you all to practice with me in the classroom. If you all are up, 5 more minutes, let's solve it. Let's see. Tell me, come on. Gear up now. The explanatory part is done. You have to give me the answers now. Choose the correct alternative of the following sentence as an interrogative sentence. Tell me, which is the correct interrogative sentence? It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I saw the word was, and my answer should begin with wasn't. The only answer I can see is part B. So part B becomes my answer. Very good. Let's proceed. Next one. Choose the correct alternative for the second one. You have to choose the affirmative sentence. I had no idea. When I say I had no idea, no is negative. So how would I write this answer? I could not have idea. I have the not. This is incorrect. I failed to have an idea. I can take a chance. I had an idea about, but the meaning changes here. I succeeded to have an idea. Meaning changes here. So B is the only alternative, which is the correct alternative. Correct. So B is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next one. Choose the exclamatory one. Their teamwork and perseverance was impressive. You cannot have first two because they begin with a pronoun. How impressive was their teamwork and perseverance? Okay, that would be my answer. Fine. Let's take another one. Very good. Very good. Everybody who's answering, amazing. Yeah. Proceeding further, choose the correct alternative and choose the correct type. Tell me which type of sentence is this? Let's walk together. Tell me what sentence is this? Is it assertive? Is it interrogative? Or it is imperative? It is not assertive, my students. It is let's. I have the word let's, and let's is suggestion. Suggestion is a part of an imperative sentence. Please make sure you are reading the question carefully. Kill not your children because of poverty. My very first word is action word. So again, it cannot be assertive. It has to be imperative. Next one. I refuse to accept that the world is poor, and I have to make the sentence negative. Okay. I refuse to accept, meaning I do not accept. Now I have three sentences. I do not accept that the world is poor. I do not accept that the world is not poor. I do not accept the world is rich. So I do not accept that the world is poor is my correct English, correct part C of the sentence. Clear? Then 19th one, we have utterly failed our children. How would I proceed this with exclamatory? How utterly we have failed our children. That's part D. Very good. Let's proceed on the 20th one. Choose the correct alternative and tell me the correct type of the sentence. We have made progress. This is assertive. Very good, Joey. 21st, since its publication, it has sold millions of copies worldwide. Since its publication, it has sold. So my answer should technically begin with has not. For the first two, I cannot see has not. Let me check if I have. Yeah, I have the C option. Has it not sold? Children, do not blindly read all of the options. Think logically. Let the work be a smart work. Next one, choose the correct alternative of the following sentence as an interrogative sentence. Hawking had a dream that he was going to be executed. Now, had a dream. I cannot have hadn't here. So I would use didn't. Didn't Hawking have a dream? That's my second answer. So I would give B as my answer. 23rd, I love being mom. Tell me which one is this? Is it compound? Is it exclamatory? Is it negative or assertive? It is assertive. Very good. It is not impossible. It is not possible. Change this to affirmative. So it is impossible. Yes. It is not impossible would simply mean it is possible. So it changes the meaning of my sentence. Only A is the answer. 25th, change this one into assertive. Do you remember? Keep your ears open. Do you remember the first time I saw you? Now, I am not here definitely talking about having a doubt. Do you remember? I doubt you remember. I am wondering if you remember the first time I saw you. So that would be my correct answer. C is my correct answer. 26, the last one for the day, it was horribly expensive. And my answer should be, wasn't it horribly expensive? Okay, now I have discussed only a few questions with you, but I already have all the answer key ready for whatever I have done, I have taught you today. So as a part of transformation of sentences, other than Navneet, I'm sending you 25 questions to practice. Kindly practice. It's an entire mixed bag practice. And I'm giving you Navneet papers as well, where I have ticked the answers the way I gave you the previous one. Go look at it, and if you have any doubts, next class when we meet, we will be covering it. So today, once and for all, we have covered the entire major chunk of the portion with transformation of sentences 1 and 2. Clear? So with this, we sign off. Take care. Bye. Yes.